Hey everybody, welcome to this video on Google Docs, and today I'm going to be talking about the menu, which is basically all of this up here. I'm actually going to split this up into two videos, so this is going to be part one, and I'm just going to cover about half of all of the different options you have in the menu. So I'm going to start off with these two buttons over here, the undo and redo buttons. These are really helpful if you make mistakes. I'll give you an example right now. So let's say I write the word hello. And then I decide, you know what, I actually don't want that there. All I have to do is go and click the undo, probably twice or a few times, and then it'll just go away, but it basically just goes back one step. And then if you decide right away, you know what, actually maybe I do want it there, you change your mind, and it'll go forward steps if you click on the redo. So that is something to know. If you don't know the keyboard shortcuts for that, I also recommend that you learn those, Control-Z and Control-Y. They're really helpful. I think I also talked about these two buttons in the Edit and View video. Yes, because they're also under the Edit tab if you wanted to access them there. But like I said, it's a lot easier if you just do the keyboard shortcuts. So that is that. And then next we have the Print button, Control-P. So if you click on it, then it's just going to tell you like all the basic information that you need to know before you print your document, and then you just click the print button, and then it'll go ahead and do that, and the rest of the process I'll leave up to you. But that is how you go print your document. And then this tool here is a really cool tool. Let me tell you what this is. This is the paint format tool, and it's going to save you a lot of time. So I have here some text in the Arial font. And then down here, I have some text in the Railway font. Now, this is when the magic happens, because instead of having to go back, usually if you want to change a font, you have to go here and then figure out what kind of font it is, and then blah, blah, blah. It takes a whole long process that we don't always want to go through, because we don't always have the time to do that, right? So, instead of doing that, all you do is you basically just highlight some of the text you want to copy, click on the paint format tool, and then select all the font you want or the text you want to change. And then once you let go, it just switches it back over to that. Let's click on the undo button, because let's pretend that I actually want to switch this font. I'll show you again. So what I do is then I select the one I want to copy, click on the tool, and then select all the ones that I want to change. As soon as I let go, switches it. So that is super, super cool. Definitely recommend using that tool if you need to save time. Really helpful. And then next we have the zoom, which is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to see, if you want to zoom out, you do a lesser percentage, and then if you want to zoom in, you go higher, and then you can also do fit to screen. But I had it at 100, I think. So yeah, I like it at 100. That's a nice place to be at. Here's where you select the type of text. So if you want to do a title or a subtitle, the different headings, this is where you do that. And then under your options, you have save as my default styles, use my default styles, and then reset styles if you want to do any of that. But here's where you select any changes you want to make in your type of text. Text versus font, these are two different things. I should make a point, because the font is the style of the text, and the text is like the wording itself, if that makes sense. I think that's a good way to describe it. But I mean, I think you pretty much understand what the difference is. So here's where you select font. If you want to find more fonts, you can click on more fonts here, and then under these, you could even further specify what kinds of fonts you want, and then you can sort it in different, like by alphabetical, date added, things like that. And then just once you add them to My Fonts, you can access them really easily in here. And that is how fonts work. And then here you have the font size, where you could change. So let's say that I need a bigger font. Sometimes I need it in 0.12. And so I would go change it there. Sometimes the font is really hard to read, and if that's the case, you can also make it bigger to make it look kind of more normal. Whatever you need to do, this is how you adjust that. And then this is going to be the last section of the menu I talk about in this video. So bold, if you need certain words to be bold, to stand out, you click on that. You can also do Control B, which is usually what I do, or Control I for italic. And then you can also underline, change the color. You could do a custom color if you wanted to. Once you go here, you can select like a blue, and then you could do whatever kind of purple, whatever color you need to do. You could change the color there, and then you can also do highlighting if you want to highlight. If you don't want to highlight, you can click on the none, and it'll just go back to having no highlights. But if you did want to highlight, you could just select whatever color you need, and that is it. So that's it for this video. I'm going to continue talking about the rest of everything else in the next one, so be sure to stick around for that, and thank you so much for watching.